What's going on, folks? Friendly neighborhood old soldier coming at you today from Rob's County, North Carolina. This part of the video ain't going to be too long. I'm about to transition over to one earlier this morning. I was invited back to my alma mater, Robinson Community College, and honored to be allowed to recite a couple of my poems based on my experiences in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, as the college has an exhibit ongoing today, and I think through the rest of next week, from the North Carolina Museum of Natural History, about the Gulf War and North Carolina's piece in it. But today I was honored and humbled to go and read a couple of my poems based on my times and experience during Desert Shield, Desert Storm. And so my son recorded it for me that I might share it with you, and I hope that you will enjoy. So stay tuned. God bless. Thank you for inviting me to come out today. I'm humbled to be here. Madam President, thank you for having me. To fellow alumni, staff, faculty, students, and to my fellow veterans, good morning. Like you said, I served in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and while attending school here, I was inspired to get back into writing poetry, and that further inspired me to publish a couple of books. The first poem that I'll read to you today is one I dedicated to the unit I served with during the First Gulf War. It's the 141st Signal Battalion, 1st Armored Division. We were 7th Corps unit out of Germany, and it's titled, "To My Brothers and Sisters from Desert Storm, I honor you with this ode." And it goes to read. On the 20th of December, 1990, we left Germany. We flew to Rome, then to Saudi Arabia. On a 747 we did ride way up in the sky, landing that day, oh so tired. And off the plane we went to the sound of a Scud missile alert. Everyone running to a runway ditch, scrambling to put our protective masks on. Then on a bus we did go, riding for hours it did seem, though, to a camp in the desert with ugly green tents. If you've been there, you know they're ugly. There we did stay for a week, maybe two. Christmas Day it did come. A cold turkey meal we did eat. Thoughts of family, of friends who we missed. And on New Year's Eve, our trucks we finally got, and out into the desert we did drive. Our first stop, we made camp, putting up our ugly green tents. Home away from home we tried to make it. New Year's Eve, oh what a night. Out of nowhere, a storm did come, and several tents, away with the wind, that's where they went. We moved a few more times throughout the land, from one place to another, in so desolate a land. Washing from a basin never really felt clean, thankful each day for our meals we received. We thought it would be hot, but it was cold. Even the rains were quite a surprise. Weather be damned, our jobs had to be done. The one night the air war began, to our foxholes, fast we ran. And in the distance, the bombs falling we saw. Then the day came, the ground war began, and across the burn we drove. And through the desert night, fires burning from oil wells, fires set afire, destroyed tanks and trucks. What a horrible sight. And onward we went, through minefields cleared. What seemed an eternity, just 100 short hours. The day that noon became night, the oil well fires burning and burning, clouds of black smoke filled the sky, and continue we did our duties to fulfill, longing for home, a home-cooked meal. Mail call came, for letters we anxiously awaited, just to read a note from home. And finally the day came. We were going home. And on that 747 we did board to take us to comfort, a place with running water, a place we called our own. Our mission complete, our duty done. To my brothers and sisters of Desert Shield and Desert Storm, of the 141st Signal Battalion, 1st Armored Division, I honor you with this humble ode. That speaks of my unit's involvement, my unit's engagement. This next poem is more of a personal nature. There are many of you here in the audience that have seen death firsthand. You have seen the horrors and devastation of war. There are many that carry physical scars. There are many more that carry the scars unseen, the mental anguish. What I'm going to share with you is my own personal demon that haunts me to this day. The title of this poem is called "The Child I Left Behind." And as I read this, you'll understand. And bear with me, I still have difficulty getting through this one. This is a time in my life, one burned in my soul, etched in my heart. This is the story, the best I can remember, to the events I wish not to remember. Haunt me they do every year, sometimes for days on end, sometimes just for a moment. Tearing at my heart and burning my soul, guilt that I have that none can console. God forgive me that I could not reach out and help a child. This little girl in clothes tattered, clothes that were torn, a little girl so small, yet so young. Stare at me she did, an arm bandaged from elbow to hand, this little girl so fragile and alone. Clutched to her chest, a ragdoll thread worn, all she seemed to have, all she seemed to hold. It was during a war in the Middle East, to remove a foe from an allied land. Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm. That was what it was named. The Persian Gulf War was its common name. In a convoy we drove down a dusty road, going who knows where. I can't quite remember when. This little girl with deep brown eyes, boring into my soul, burning into my heart. There are men of her town bartering for cigarettes, thinking of themselves and thinking of no one else. Ashamed of them I was, and ashamed that I could not, that I obeyed my orders and not my heart. I pray God delivered her from that place to a home with a family who would care for her. And may God have mercy on each of us who just drove by. I share this now that you might understand what tears at my heart at times in my life. And I wonder often, what became of this child? Did she live, survive the child I left behind? Those out here understand. You wonder if we don't talk about certain things. It's hard for us to share these things. Today I hope that this gives you a better understanding that many of us carry burdens or emotional scars that it's just hard to express. So if you see us kind of off in a distant place, leave us to our thoughts for a moment. We'll recollect ourselves and we'll move on. Thank you.